I don't think I'm meant to be here.
What the hell are you?
Vita Carnis.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
What's up, guys? And welcome back to Vita Carnis. Now, it's been ages since reacted to, and I'm pretty sure season 2 has just arrived. But you're probably wondering what Vita Carnis is. Well, basically, there's a bunch of different life forms that are trying to, they all live in different habitats and environments, and that's what me trying to talk to you about one-on-one, because there are a lot. I'm just going to have some weird AI text-to-speech voice tell you information about them, because it saves me from talking a lot. So, take it away, AI voice. Do your thing.
The meat snake is not too dissimilar to an ordinary snake, being a worm-like organism with a head and tail. All meat snakes share a meat red color like other members of the Carnis family. It is also mostly made out of meat tissue and flesh. The meat snake, however, is much larger than an ordinary snake, averaging a size of 5 meters. Similar to the trimming, each meat snake has unique traits that can differentiate them from each other. The main difference between meat snakes is the skull. Over its lifespan, a meat snake will swap out its skull with those of its different meals. However, it only changes out the skull if the previous one is damaged, or it prefers the newer skull. Otherwise, it will be excreted like other unwanted materials. If a meat snake has eaten a dead stag, its face will resemble a stag. The meat snake's flesh turns a deeper shade of red the more it consumes. However, this effect is very slow and requires the snake to consume thousands of meals. The meat snake has a fleshy membrane that is imperative in keeping it alive. If this membrane is broken, the snake will perish. The meat snake is said to have an unpleasant odor. In an interview, Darian Quilloy, the creator of Vita Carnis, said that the meat snake smells like if you put meat in a jar with apple cider vinegar and left it in the sun for a week. The crawl generally consists of a growth of meaty tendrils which resemble the small intestine. Each has a variety of veins, arteries, and other organs which are used to transport nutrients absorbed from its surroundings. Its red hue can vary in shade from tendril to tendril, with smaller tendrils being darker because they are likely exposed to nutrients more often. Therefore, the membrane is more prominent. The tendrils have a similar pattern of growth to vines, mold, or fungi. Each tendril has its own characteristics from drinking, eating, and protection. The primary stem of the crawl serves as a host of division for its other branches. The trimming is a small, meaty, turtle-like creature that is said to resemble a skinned raccoon. Like all other members of the Carnis family, it is mostly made out of meat tissue. As a result of this, all trimmings share a blood red color. Trimmings have a slight resemblance to ticks with a plump abdomen, small head, miniature ears and eyes, and a wide gaping mouth. All trimmings have unique modifications, making it impossible to find two of the same. Such differences include leg count, spikes, and size. Most trimmings are around 20 centimeters, 7.8 inches in length. Comparable to a basketball, trimmings are often confused with juvenile mimics because of their similar body shape. Mimics are spawned from the crawl like the other Carnis species and initially have a grub-like form similar to trimmings, but as they mature, they take on a distinctly humanoid shape. Adult mimics resemble elongated, skinless humans with bulging eyes and wide, toothy grins. The first type of tendril is bulky and flat. They lie the closest to the surface and are equipped with spines that resemble the shape of a bear trap. These spines have veins that eject two types of venom, one to each side. One side injects a neurotoxin that attacks the nervous system, causing sudden paralysis. The other side can inject an anticoagulant that prevents blood cells from clotting. Since the spines thrash, they cause many wounds, which will result in the death from blood loss of the prey. The second type of tendril shares similar anatomy to the small branches from the crawl, as they are equipped with organelles that can be used to absorb nutrients. These tendrils can sense blood from prey and move towards it in order to absorb it. Hosts of influence, usually shortened to just hosts, are vaguely humanoid predators that don't actively hunt, but instead release spores to an extent. A host has a humanoid upper body, but its lower half is nothing but tendrils that root on the ground. The host releases spores that infect any organism that inhales them. A monolith is a large, 120-meter, 394-foot tall tower of tightly built fiber with extremely thick roots acting as legs and several long appendages on its side. Its flesh is a red color similar to other members of the Carnis family. The strands of wheat fiber converge at the neck to form a solid, triangular head with a circular hole through it. In place of arms, the monolith has hundreds of thin, rope-like strands that scrape the ground, and its trunk-like legs and feet are rooted deeply into the ground, making it impossible to uproot. A monolith using current technology, the monolith, is capable of letting loose more from its orifice. However, this was only ever heard during an unknown time and date when they became active.
So the video we are reacting to today is called Vita Carnis New Beginnings. Now, I don't know why it's telling me I've watched this. I have not. I don't know what YouTube's trying to tell me. I think it's just lying, but hey, 12 minutes is 12 minutes, bro. We can tell from 8-Bit Wine's face that, yeah, things are going to get really, really bad. This video talks about souls, imagery, and graphic content like flash and light, gore, violence, and death. If you guys don't like that stuff, I think it's just time you click off the video.
Today something has happened within the restricted zone, where a large group of cultists have been apprehended. Several teams of military personnel have arrested
Hold on,
high-ranking...
we need to pause this. Military veteran Simon Vanguard, found to be the head of the secret organization. Simon was arrested during the raid of Lanborough Mel? I think that's Mel. Where he was found leading high-ranking out members in a ritualistic sacrifice. Custody of Simon was handed over to police by Caeruleus, where he will face the trial for his crimes. So he really loves the Vita Carnis monsters. Probably the cruel. That's probably where he got most inspiration from.
...cultists and have unmasked their identities to the public. Shockingly, several of these members are well-renowned politicians.
I love these members, bro.
Multiple governments across the
Many
globe.
documents have been released providing sufficient proof of the atrocities that were being committed. Some of these crimes include
Murder, kidnapping, torture, fraud, ritual sacrifice, and chemical weaponry.
And the list goes on.
The members are found guilty of deliberately providing false
And that's the
information
symbol.
to the public in an attempt to cause
If you see that symbol, I think this time is over.
Found to have very significant ties with cultist activities and
Isn't that like...
down. All new
I don't know what... I remember watching the video ages ago. I think it's like you put it on your food and it tastes really good. Really weird, but don't ask me why.
Unrest grows as the new Trier cult case.
Okay, well that...
More crimes that were hidden
Yeah, that's
away.
something else. That's a mimic found, bro. Left unchecked.
They demand that something be done to handle the Carnis species.
That's not creepy at all.
Streets as protests begin to turn. Our leaders were plotting against
Yeah, Rail's in chaos because of Vita Carnis, bro.
What happens now?
Secret Rail's order. I think we found that at the end of the season 1 finale, bro. The little orb with the Vita Carnis things in it.
Welcome to Magister's Wonder Show.
Yay.
I am the Magister, and get ready to explore all of the world's wonders. Today, we are learning about the circle of life.
Dr. Mossel, Traders, Head Director, and Doctor of Carcass.
Test report number 4.
Oh.
We still know very little about the nature of the entities. There are 7 singularities in total. Each singularity is roughly 1 meter in diameter. They are made of an
That's the
unknown
giant ball of
material,
Vita Carnis I was
although
talking
it
about.
looks and feels very similar to glass. We are unable to sample it in fear of causing potential damage. The material
Yes.
is very dark in color.
We want to make
There's
things
red
worse than what it is.
light swirling
Like, just
inside.
talk from the outside road, bro. Mimics
There
are
are some
found.
hints of other colors present,
Actually,
but is mostly dominated
I need to turn subtitles on for this.
by the red. Each entity hovers above the ground in a stationary position, although they can be moved with relative ease. Our equipment can detect some subtle
What
pulses of
am I
energy
looking at?
in rhythmic but random patterns.
Okay. Is this like new entities inside the ball of Vita Carnis, or? Well, from the looks of it, it does definitely sounds like it. That is some demonic laugh, but I think it's time you just put fires in the bag at this point.
We don't know what they are. We don't know if it is breathing or communicating. We don't even truly know if they are even organic.
Nobody
This
knows.
is nothing new.
Nobody knows.
Just
Who knows? I don't
confirming
know.
what
Do you
we
know?
already
Probably not.
Our first experiments didn't give any interesting leads. The most we got was some interference with electronics, especially when there is more than one kept close together.
So,
But
have one separate from the other, probably in a separate room
experiment
to
we
like
done
experiment on it or
showed
something.
Extremely significant results. The experiment played out like this. In test chamber 1, a
Dude, they
live
got
cow
bloody-
was released into the chamber with
They got
V1 for an
animals
extended
to
period.
experiment on. Like, what did the cow
They were
do?
left together for 24 hours. The test showed minimal results from the entity and an increase in stress from the cow. Next, the body of a cow was put into the chamber with V1 for 24 hours.
V1. What kind of test name is
The
that?
results were
V1.
extraordinary.
Oh. That cow just died.
The whole body had been ingested. Concentrations of Kroll
Okay, this is
rapidly
interesting.
moved from several points from within the chamber. What this could mean, it rewrites everything we knew about the Vita Carnis species.
Yep, we all know what there's into do, thanks to the AI voice. Oh, the crawl. Okay.
First, a young larva hatches from within its egg. It will roam
Right.
around and find food to help it grow and grow.
Just like Vita
Once
Carnis,
they are
therefore
big enough,
most
they
of them are
transform
probably
into a
people
pupa,
and
after
living
some more
things,
time, they
not just
transform
plants.
into an adult beetle. The adult beetle will go out into the world in search of
The crawl specialist, head
Audio
cultivator.
log. Progress report for crawl samples. Cultivation has been successful.
The thing that people
So
eat that as
far,
well, that
we
is
grew them
so
with
weird.
3 specific
Like, who would
environmental
want to eat that?
factors.
How does that look edible? How does that
One
look
is our control
tasty?
group,
People are just really weird.
2 with access to additional nutrition sources, and 3 with exposure to radio signals.
Radio signals, alright.
Group 1 grew on par with standard crawl
Definitely,
samples.
definitely
Noticed
expanding, bro.
abnormalities.
Looks like Carnage a little bit.
Group 2 grew at a faster pace than the control group, as expected. No distinct abnormalities.
So it just absorbs everything in its path. It's like vines, red vines
3
made
grew
from
against
literal
its normal
organs, which
pattern,
isn't creepy at
moving its
all.
way toward the radio.
But yeah, people still
Once
don't eat
the
this thing
device
for
was claimed, it switched
dinner,
to
lunch, and
usual
breakfast.
growth patterns.
Really, if you ask me.
Again, no distinct abnormalities. In conclusion, the samples that were grown in V1's test chamber don't seem to differ from others grown from other sources. Still, we will continue with more factors in further groups, just in case. There have been some developments in the propagation group. V1 samples have seemingly been able to produce nodules at a slightly quicker rate
Nodules.
than wild samples.
Alright.
Control groups show that V1 samples begin node development a few days faster. More time will be needed to
So
say
I'm
for
so
sure.
cool, like they make
As for nodes themselves, there aren't any distinct
they make another thing that
abnormalities.
one
We've
of the entities, I
successfully
don't know what it's
hatched
called, I forgot.
a dozen Carnish juveniles, several trimmings,
Trimmings,
2
that's what it's
meat
called.
snakes,
This is
and
what
even
the
one
crawl
mimic.
makes.
We will be sending them to the enclosures after everyone's reports get sent out. End log.
Okay, why am I seeing random videos?
And is now
Oh,
ready
wait,
for
hold
the
on.
garden.
Trim specialist 1991 08 on the 31st.
Audio log.
Okay,
Progress report for trimming colony.
trimmings.
Significant progress in learning the social patterns of a group of trimmings we have been keeping together.
What do you call a group
A
of
new
trimmings?
batch of juveniles
Trimes?
were added to the main colony at the beginning of the new progress report. They were accepted into the community immediately. No conflict or rejection.
People keep these as
observed.
pets. I just realized because I'm having flashbacks of like when
They
I
provide
first reacted to it, which was
circumstances
ages
to
ago.
document more of their interactions. Trimmings communicate through a series of vocal cues.
Right.
Colony members meeting the new batch with squeaks and squeals.
Oh, that would be so annoying to listen to at
They
night.
also
Can you
are not
imagine?
afraid to show us when they are
It wouldn't be
upset.
fun.
Trimmings also use some physical displays as well. For example, trimmings do a chewing or chatter motion with their mouths when they are happy or interested in something. The experiment that we performed was to explore the extent of their communication skills. The test went
Is that
like
sleeping?
this. We took one of the trimmings and had them in place in a modified enclosure. A speaker would play 2 separate audio cues. A positive cue would play, followed by a treat, and a negative cue, followed by a small spray of cold water. We did several rounds of both audio cues to condition the trimming's response.
That would be quite torturous, bro, for the trimmings. But then again, I'd rather it have bad luck than I have bad luck. And you know what I'm talking with bad luck? I'm talking about those mimics. It probably hasn't. Damn, it doesn't like cold water.
After the test, the trimming was released back to its colony. And after a few hours, we tested how much the trimmings communicated. Another speaker was placed near the colony's enclosure, where we played the same audio cues. It is incredible to see how layered their social interactions can be.
Harmony, bro.
Although
They're one and the same. They're from the same. What's cruel? They're from the same cruel.
Bizarre.
So they're also gonna act the same, like all brothers and sisters or something.
Found out that a wild
Related in a
colony
way.
settled around the facility recently. It was strange.
Oh.
What we did. It was a long shot. We set up a radio device near the wild colony and near ours. We linked both devices up and played the cues.
There's many dangers out there in the world. There are many predators that would love to have beetles for a snack. And unfortunately, not all beetles make it. Yes, it is sad, but that's how the circle of life works. But look, one of the beetles has laid eggs. And once the beetle's eggs hatch, the beautiful cycle starts again.
Yeah, but with a mimic, they have like multiple mimics, and you can't really tell the difference between a real person and a mimic because they try to mimic a real person. Darian Quilloy. And that is the first episode, I think, of season 2, which, you know, this is, I like these kind of things because it's kind of, everyone has their own, like with Analog Horror, they can kind of do their own thing, which is really nice. Like we have the back rooms, we have the Smile tapes, if you guys remember that. Now Vita Carnis season 2, which means they have so much support on the first season, they actually decided to come back for a second season, unless that was originally planned. I'm running out of breath. But for now, this is where I'm going to end it here for Vita Carnis, the first episode of season 2. I think it's one of the best. It goes to Backrooms, Vita Carnis, and then it goes to the Smile tapes. I don't really count the FNAF Analog Horrors. I kind of think it's its own thing, if you ask me. But I think if you ever see a person who looks like you or another human, it's probably a mimic. So you probably run away as fast as you can. If not, I think it's a bit too late for you.